Right. Lovely seeing so many people around here. Well, hello everyone and welcome to today's IPC&M CPD Building Masterclass. My name is Julie Kennedy, all the way from the today sunny Netherlands. And on the hot seat today, we have Victoria Morley. And Victoria is the co-founder of the House of Illumina, which sounds already enlightening as it is, and a business success coach who knows about making impact. So welcome, Victoria. Now, before we get started, a bit of housekeeping. Our call today is a maximum of 1 hour, including 15 minutes Q&A. Victoria was saying, why don't we put the questions in the chat like that? I can either share them as we go along or we take them at the end, but at least like that, you're sure you don't forget them. Now, the session is recorded, so please mute yourself when we're not talking, but keep your video on because it's so much nicer for the speaker and for me as well. So our topic today is take your coaching business to new heights. And I feel that that is exactly what we need in order to rock 2024. So thank you, Victoria, and all yours.
You're welcome. I am not from such a amazing place. I'm just in England, in Cheshire, and it's freezing. So
it's freezing here too. It's not that
is
amazing.
It? Oh, it's so cold here. So I've got my heater on. But for those who are joining live, thank you so much for giving up an hour of your time for this. And I'm going to make sure that it is as valuable as possible. And I have, as I always do, try to do things a little bit differently today. So I'm going to, let me just make sure everyone's muted. Yes, they are. Let me just share my screen and I will dive right in. And if tech keeps messing with me today, just bear with, because like I say, it is, it's been a little bit of a challenging one. Okay. And as Julie said, please feel free to pop any questions you've got in the chat as well. I'm probably not going to be able to have a look as we go through, but Julie will man that. Okay. So I could have gone so many ways with take your coaching business to new heights. And I really had to think about how I wanted to make this different for you guys, because you can go into so many different places on the internet and learn so many different things about so many different things. So I'm going to help you understand a little bit more about my journey and then why I've then gone ahead and put these 7 shifts or blind spots together. But it's all around helping you create more impact, helping you grow personally, professionally, and in your business, and also create more abundance in your business and life as well. So, oh, yeah, that's not that one. See, already the thingy has, give me one sec. This is what I mean about tech today, guys. Have we got one of these super full moons or something?
I totally agree, because I'm still struggling to get us on Facebook Live, so
hopefully this will just let me click through normally. Let me just try one. Okay, we're fine. Okay, so quick intro to me, and then I'll help you understand a little bit about my journey and then how these 7 things have helped me. So as Julie said, I'm an accredited business coach, I'm a mentor, and I'm also a trainer as well. So I'm a mum. I'm an animal lover. We've got like 6 animals at home. That started at a very early age. And I'm an occasional tree hugger. For those who live near me, I have been found occasionally to be like holding on to trees when I want to release some negative energy. I left corporate just under 3 years ago, whilst I was pregnant, to follow my passion. And my passion has always been, even though I suppressed it and hid it and told myself that wasn't the thing, it was always around serving others, helping others, empowering others. And the 2 businesses that I'm the co-founder of now, which is the House of Illumina, which is accredited coach training company, and Unfiltered Femme that I've literally just co-founded and launched this month. They're both dedicated to creating a ripple effect across not just the UK, but also we're going global now with the House of Illumina as well. And I'm really passionate about enabling people to make more of an impact to others and their own life, and to make a business out of just being themselves. Because we end up, you know, as you'll know as coaches, layers of beliefs, conditioning, generational programming can make us wear so many different masks. Tech is still working for me. And I'm going to give you a very, very quick, almost CV here. But hopefully this will help you understand my journey, because, you know, I left corporate, like I say, at 7 weeks pregnant. I handed in my notice. I walked away from maternity pay. I'd never run a business before. I hadn't got a Scooby-Doo what I was doing, but I knew I couldn't spend one more minute in an environment that was suppressing my soul and my calling. So I definitely leapt and found my wings on the way down there. But in that 12 months, I went from not having a clue to have built a 6-figure business and being able to serve and impact an amazing group of people. And Tracy, who's on this, actually was my first ever client. I then, after my first 12 months in business, went on to co-found the House of Illumina with my amazing business partner, friend, soul sister, Susie Cuthbertson. And that business is dedicated to creating world-class coaches. And it's always been a science meets soul approach for us. And in one of the shifts, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more. The most recent brand that we've launched is Unfiltered Femme. And that is all about helping more people become unmuted, unfiltered, both in how they show up, in what they believe is possible, and what they go after into the world. So who knows where that business is going to go. But the reason why I'm going to be covering off these 7 things with you today is no matter where I've been, whether it was when I first started, whether it was when I opened my second business, whether it was when I was looking at this third business, these 7 laws, shifts, blind spots, whatever you want to call them, have always been the things that have helped me grow my businesses, and help me serve, because we are all here to serve. So some of the things like I say, there was so many different things I could have gone into here because of the amount of things we coach people on, teach through Unfiltered Femme in the House of Illumina. But I wanted to keep these different. So hopefully some of these are things that you've not thought about before or been prompted on before. So I just wanted to give you that. Okay, and these 7 shifts are all around, like I say, impact, freedom, getting more clients, and also being able to attract more abundance and wealth. And these are the 7 things that I'm going to be going through. They will mean nothing to you yet until I actually start going into them. But I wanted to hit things that were going to help you grow to your next level, that were going to help you attract clients. And I'm not going to be going into marketing hacks here, by the way, because you can find that anywhere. I'm going to be going into how you can make a shift in your timeline, how you can get a shift in your client results, how you can quantum leap certain aspects, your blind spots. All of these are blind spots, by the way, and then the investment shift as well, because I sometimes need to take stock on, I guess, the courage that I've shown. Some may call it craziness, risk taker, during different times that have really paid off in my growth, in where I've invested in all sorts of different things. So hopefully you will get, even if you get value from just one of these things that you didn't know, then this has been worth your time. Let's jump into this. And this is not going to be the fanciest one of the shifts, but this is one of the huge, huge blind spots when you are wanting to grow you or your business. And when I talk about growth, there's growth of self, which as coaches, we all continually grow ourselves. There's growth of how much freedom we want. There's growth of how much impact we want. There's growth on how our leadership, and there's also growth of how much time we want to take back as well. And you'll see at the bottom, I've got, you can't build on rocky or unstable foundations. Like, you wouldn't live in a house that had unstable foundations, or you certainly wouldn't want to. And it is so important in your business to be ensuring that the foundations are right before you start moving to that next level, because that is the only way to do it without avoiding, without basically having burnout. Because guess what? If you're wanting to attract more money, you're wanting to attract more clients, whatever the thing is, if you have not got those foundations in place, and I'm going to pull up the foundations in a second, you're going to basically come unstuck in a few different areas. And this is where I've coached many people in business who hadn't got the foundations right. And that's why they were sabotaging. That's why they couldn't get to that next level. That's why they couldn't attract a different level of clients into their business. Okay. So these are some questions. And some of you might find some of this basic, some of you might think, oh my goodness, I've not looked at this for ages. But when I'm talking about like, why does your business exist? What's its purpose? What's your mission, vision, why, values? This changes over time. Like mine, I've got iteration after iteration. Certainly when I've brought out a different business, there has been a different mission, or there has been, a slightly different purpose behind it. And it really does pay to spend some time, like each year. January is a beautiful time to do this, to just check back into your purpose, your mission, your vision, your why, like that Simon Sinek book, Start With Why, love it, and your values, and check in that your business still meets those. And if not, change. You don't have to stay. If you had a, business that was in a particular niche and you don't feel aligned to it, change it. You can change it. It's your business, your rules. And like I say, that is one huge, huge place to start. The next thing, is your business still giving you your dream day? Like, are you still getting the freedom you want? Financial freedom, time freedom? Are you still making the impact you want? Is the business serving you? Because if it isn't serving you at this level, and you don't actually know what you want, and you haven't done that work, then how do you know how you want to change your business to help meet your ever-evolving needs of the type of life that you want? The other area, who are you here to serve? Whether maybe you're niched at the moment and you don't feel so aligned to that niche or industry. Are you checking in? I've got ICA there, ideal client avatar. This is a foundational piece. Do you know who your ideal client avatar is? Because in the world of marketing, you can scattergun and you can just talk to everyone. But when you talk to everyone, you're literally talking to no one, because it's such a saturated market. So are you checking in and making sure you still know who your ideal client is? Are you checking in to make sure you still know how you want to serve those clients, or are you burning yourself out serving those clients? This is all fixing and understanding your foundations. And then this is about checking in again to your needs. Is your business meeting your needs? How can it meet your needs? What needs to change in order to meet your needs? So this is actually quite a big one when you go through it like this, but this is such an important piece of work to do, because, I'm sure literally everyone that's watching this is coaches or of some sort, so you've got a real great level of awareness of yourself, but we have blind spots. We all have blind spots. It's the fun of evolution. Okay, the second one is a shift to help you support client and attraction. And like I say, I'm not going to be going through the usual run-of-the-mill marketing strategies and hacks. We teach them, but I wanted to make this slightly different for you guys today. So the question I would love you to ask yourself is, are you the embodiment of what you believe, what you stand up for, what you coach, what you teach? Because the online world, if you are online, which I'm sure most of you are, is filled with rainbows, unicorns, false promises, people very much in their ego, which we all go into our ego, right? There's nothing against that. But there is a lot of smoke and mirrors on there. And I feel like you get a BS detector after a while, and you can watch a video, you can even sometimes see it in a picture, and you can tell if someone isn't being authentic in that picture and they don't feel good in their own skin. So one of the biggest ways that you can start to attract clients easier and actually feel like they're magnetizing to you, because you're probably showing up online, you're probably posting all the time, you're probably doing all these things. Are you the embodiment? So if you talk around showing up as your most authentic self, are you showing up as your most authentic self? If you are coaching people on visibility, are you being visible? And I'm not saying you can't coach people on things that you're working on or that you don't do. I'm not saying that at all. But if that is part of your brand, if that's part of what you talk around that you believe in, but you're not embodying it, there's going to be a disconnect between you and your ideal client. And I've got some prompts on the next page for that. So, sorry, I'll just admit someone to the room. There we go. So, do you practice what you preach or coach? If you are coaching people on money mindset, or you specialize in money mindset even, are you consistently working on yours? Because let me tell you, money mindset's a huge blind spot. I'm constantly having to work on that. And sometimes we can go into our ego and say, you know, I've got to this level, I don't need to keep working on that. Goodness me, we all need to be working on these types of things wherever we are, wherever we are. If you're coaching clients on their worth, on their value, on their pricing, are you checking in with yours? Are you being the embodiment of that? Like I said before, if you're helping clients become more authentic and remove their masks, so to speak, are you showing up authentically? So this is about getting really honest with yourself, a little bit uncomfortable. We love uncomfortable as coaches, and just working out where your embodiment blind spots are. Because honestly, when you are showing up as your most authentic self, when you're in service, when you can genuinely talk about something you believe in, and you know you are embodying that, or at least working on embodying that on a consistent basis, your whole energy changes, and energy is what attracts people to you on and above all the strategies that you might have as well. Okay, let me do a time check. We're still good. Whew. Okay, this is now the shift to collapse your timeline. This is another blind spot. When I talk around T's and C's, I'm not talking around contracts with clients. I'm talking about contracts you have made with yourself. So they might be T's and C's, they might be stories, they might be beliefs, they might be covenants. But what things, what conditions have you put on yourself that is stopping you from going to your next level? So it might be your next level of impact, visibility. It might be your next level of abundance. It might be going to higher value clients or putting your prices up. So what T's and C's have you, let me just admit this other person, what T's and C's have you given yourself that are keeping yourself small? This is another, like I say, huge, huge blind spot. My business partner, Susie, who is an incredible coach, catches me out on this stuff all the time. Let me tell you, never go into business with another coach unless you want this stuff shown to you all the time. I'm joking, it's amazing. But I've got some prompts here for you as well. So catch yourself if you are saying, when I have something, then I will do that. Like when I have X amount of followers, then I will do this. When I've made, I don't know, 50K, then I can be an expert in so-and-so, or then I can be a business coach. When I've achieved X, then I will be, or I can't do this until I've done that. I had a client that Susie and I've worked with over the last 5 months who had given herself all these covenants over a 5-year business plan. She managed to achieve it in 5 months. It was a 5-year business plan. She'd got all these covenants, all these beliefs around it, why she couldn't do it, dissolved those. And she did it in 5 months. So that was a huge quantum leap for her. But it was because these covenants, these T's and C's that she was making with herself, that we all do, had been identified. She was able to work through them and able to quantum leap a completely different level in her business. So once again, this is just catching yourself when you realize that you are saying, I can't do that until I've done that. Like, ask yourself, why not? Who says I can't? What beliefs behind that? Is it true? Is it not? Just coach yourself on it, or get someone else to coach you on it as well. Hopefully this is all making sense for you all as well. And the other one, like when my skills are better, then I'll call myself an expert, or when I've done this, like, it's such BS, the stuff that we tell ourselves, and it is the thing that holds us back massively. Okay, now we've got this shift to create huge client transformations. And obviously I'm pulling in for this, the House of Illumina aspect. Okay, so the human race is evolving. We're becoming more conscious. And I think we've got technology a little bit for that. I think obviously having 2 years pretty much of lockdown gave people a lot of time as well to spend more time with self. But as the human race has evolved, I believe, and we believe at the House of Illumina, and by the way, ignore any spelling mistakes through this presentation as well. I have a habit of it, just bear with. I don't think there are any there, but there probably will be at some point. but there is a new way of coaching. Now, the old way, and there isn't, by the way, this isn't, this is right, this is wrong, this is what we believe at the House of Illumina. The old way is more of this talk only, mindset only, coaching in that very linear way. You know, you come to a session, we coach from A to B, and then that's it. Ignoring the fact that trauma exists in every single person in varying different degrees. The old way is ignoring the parts of us that we suppress, the shadow parts, the shadow selves, because I'll tell you what, there is a lot of power in those parts once we learn to love on them and alchemize them. The older way is ignoring layers of generational programming and beliefs. You know, we've got epigenetics, if I can say the word, that people are understanding more about. The older way is ignoring the fact that emotions are stored in the body. Okay, so this is the old way, and this is how we believe this needs to evolve. So we believe there is a mind, body, soul connection. This is why we have a science meets soul approach at the House of Illumina. And you'll see around the outside here, I've just got there our expansion coaching model with the types of modalities that our coaches get trained in. So this is including somatic work. This is including working through those complex layers of belief systems. This is working through our family order, through family constellations. Constellation, it's nothing to do with stars in this in this particular example. It's being able to, like say, work through those emotions that are stored in the body. It's about being able to coach, being trauma informed, because like I say, every single person has trauma, big trauma, little trauma. And you'll notice on here, we've also got shadow work. It's also about helping people, because I did this for decades, stop suppressing parts of themselves. Stop suppressing people may say, the darkness in themselves. We've all created these different parts of ourselves because of what we have lived through in our lives. And it's about alchemizing them. It's about loving them. It's about not shaming ourselves. Shame is a huge thing we're doing over at Unfiltered Femme, actually, because there is so much shame that we give ourselves in our business and in our life. So the new way is about embracing this new way of coaching. And when I look at the students that we've had coming through Illumina, the shifts that they are able to get by being able to pull on different modalities, which include, like, say, this mind, body, soul connection, helping people embrace these shadow parts of themselves, is incredible, as well as all the science elements too. And although I don't believe that, you know, a coach has to train in all these things to be an amazing coach, I don't believe that. What I do believe in is if this sort of stuff speaks to your soul and you believe it too, then it's always a great opportunity for us to be upskilling ourselves as coaches, because we all love to read and understand these things that we haven't learned before as well. But this has been a game changer in being able to get those life-changing shifts in a small amount of time. Okay, the shift to quantum leap. You're like, what the hell is this? This is all around authenticity. And I've talked a lot about suppressing, hiding parts of ourselves. I believe a lot in energetic frequency. First of all, I'm just going to very quickly tell you a little thing that I read very, very recently. And I believe like we are more energy than anyone. I don't believe that this is a fact. We're like 99.99% energy because of how our atoms are made up. And I believe that when we are in those higher vibrational frequencies, love, gratitude, all those gorgeous things, we attract more of that back into our life. When we're in fear, lack, shame, we attract more of that into our lives. Now, what's really interesting about authenticity, and I read this very recently, do not ask me what the study was called because I cannot remember and I wish I'd saved it. They did a study with a lot, like thousands of people, and they found the highest vibrational frequency was authenticity, above love, above gratitude. So what are you hiding from the world and from yourself? What parts of you are you suppressing? What truths are you ignoring? What boundaries are you, where have you got leaky boundaries? Because that's also not being in your authentic self. Are you allowing people to take advantage of you? Are you allowing clients to take advantage of you? Are you allowing family members? What beliefs do you have that you haven't allowed yourself to own and acknowledge and work on? What about you that is totally unique are you telling yourself right now that you can't share with the world? Because I've had clients with accents, not one worried that people are going to judge their accents. Your quirks, what are your quirks? What are the things that people love about you that you're worried about showing to other people online? Because being your authentic self is your superpower. There is no one that is made up the way you are, with the same journey, with the same struggles, with the same things that you've overcome. And if more people could share in a way that they feel comfortable, share more about themselves, allow more of themselves be seen, this is an absolute superpower, and it will help you grow your business exponentially because you become a magnet for other people. So you can literally, where I've got fill in the blank, your most authentic self is your most powerful something weapon, abundance weapon, client attraction weapon, impact weapon, whatever you want to add in there, your most authentic self, the person who has been able to own those parts that you've been disowning for decades. We all do that. We all do that. For certain reasons. But when you are able to own that and you are able to show up and you are able to be you, like you see people online and you can tell if they're being themselves or not, and you're magnetized to them. It's the same with you. It's just having that courage. It's having the courage, and it's also being able to do the self-worth practice to know that you, as you are good enough. Because the I'm not good enough belief was one that dictated most of my life. Okay, time check again. We're okay. Okay, I've got this and then one more. So this is some of the practices that I do daily that, okay, that was a lie. I do not do them daily because sometimes I catch myself out for not doing them daily. These are the things that I know I have to do daily. And if I don't, I really, really feel it. So yeah, I just caught myself there. Okay. Daily non-negotiables that sometimes I sabotage because I'm human. Meditation. I don't need to teach you about meditation, but oh my goodness, especially when I'm going through shedding shadows, shedding layers of beliefs, all that fun stuff. Oh my goodness, I really have to calm my nervous system. I really have to come back home. It is something I just have to do. If I don't do it, I really, really feel it. Like I say, don't need to teach you on that at all. Energetics is another one. And I talked about raising your frequency. So if you notice that you are, and this was a massive blind spot for me last year, if you notice you are in those lower vibrational frequencies, which could be like fear, it could be shame, it could be grief if you've just gone through grief or however that might have shown up. Resentment's one of the lower vibrational ones. You've got like anger, all these different things. If you can start to become aware of how your body feels, first clue, and if you've got that icky feeling in your body, you're going to be in one of the lower vibrational states. Start to do things every single day that can get you to like authenticity, gratitude, joy. It can be simply getting out in nature because that really does lift me. It could be putting on your favorite music. It could be spending time with the animals. So, you know, I've got like, say, 3 dogs, 3 cats. I spend more time with the dogs than the cats because I'm more of a dog person. I've got my husband, thanks to the cats, still love them, but they really do lift my frequency. Spending time with my daughter, like oxytocin, hello, puts me in that gorgeous love frequency. So, and a gratitude list, great way to get you into gratitude. So this really is a daily practice that when I do it every single day and I do it consistently for a long period of time, it really, really does change what I'm able to attract and manifest. Health, oh my goodness, huge one. After I had little baby Harper, I fell off the bandwagon with my health, with my exercise. Really, really makes a difference. Don't need to labor this one because we all know endorphins, you know, all this other stuff. But it really does help me lead better, serve better, and also grow better. And then the fourth one is consumption. And this has been more of a recent awareness for me. I have noticed if I watch certain things that are anxiety provoking, series or movies, I feel like crap afterwards. I really do. And I have come to the decision more recently, because it was over the Christmas when we do a little bit of binge watching, that is just not what I want to put into my body anymore. Like, I don't want to put it into my mind because I feel it. I really do feel it. I'm just trying to admit someone from the weight room. There we go. So have a think. What is your, like, what do you feel good about consuming? What don't you? Social media. If I scroll too much on social media, unfortunately, the mind monkeys come in and I start doing comparisonitis. No one wants that. Obviously, I know I've got some stuff to work on there, but I also know my triggers. So this is just a really great way to work out what you want to put in your body and what you don't, and setting boundaries. Okay. That can be the hardest thing, especially if you've got a loved one like my husband who loves watching anxiety-provoking things. He doesn't get triggered, I do, which is all joyful. Okay, and the last shift is the investment shift. And this is so when I talk investment, this isn't just money, it's also time, it's also energy. But I am just going to talk about money very, very quickly. Just the word money is going to promote some sort of emotion in your body, some sort of feeling in your body. And this can be one of the most triggering areas for people. This is why money mindset work, daily money mindset work is so important. Without a doubt, one of the reasons why I was able to grow my business and businesses as quickly as I did was my courage / risk-taking ability to invest in the gaps of skills, knowledge, expertise that I didn't have. Because like I say, when I started my business, I did not have a clue. I didn't have a clue. So I knew if I was going to be able to replace my corporate salary, not be impacted about having no maternity pay and all the other stuff, I was going to have to make some really bold moves that scared the hell out of me in order to grow. And I did it, and I'm proud I did it. I also gave probably my mum a heart attack when she heard some of the things I was, ways I was spending, and my husband definitely, because we have a mortgage. So first question, what gaps do you have that are potentially holding you back from growth? And what do you need to plug or fill them with? So it could be knowledge gaps. I think I've got them on the next page. Got some examples. Yes, I have. Perfect. Here. So this could be your knowledge gaps. This could be your skill gaps. This could be your belief gaps. This could be gaps in, like, say, understanding how to market, delivery. If you're wanting to start doing group programs or memberships, do you actually know how to service clients properly to make sure they have a great experience? There's all these different areas. And it really is it's a game of courage here, because it is scary when you're especially having to invest money that you might not want to invest. And we crave certainty as human beings. We want everything to be certain that this thing is going to do this thing. And there isn't really any certainty. However, trust your intuition, trust your gut, and trust that you are going to have to do some things that feel scary and might feel risky and all these other things in order to grow. Because honestly, without that, I probably would have given up in my business had I not done that, because I would have had to earn a wage. So yeah, I kind of did that. And like I say, scared a few people that were in my close vicinity. I'm just gonna, let me see. Do we have any questions that have come into the chat? I'm just gonna have a drink of water. And I have Oh, I can't hear you for some reason. Why can't I hear you? Oh, Julie, you're muted.
Exactly. I wanted to unmute myself and I unmuted you by mistake. Sorry. I was going to go to the questions. I'm not quite sure what's happening with my screen today.
Oh, I can see questions.
Yes, I can see them now, but I couldn't see the people waiting to be admitted for some very peculiar reason.
Don't you worry, I
Okay,
suppose.
converting leads into sales. I think that was one of the topics that, you asked at the beginning if there were any
Yeah.
particular topics that people wanted. I don't see any actual questions yet, but we can open up the floor live, feel
Let's
free.
open up the floor. And then, like I say, I can go on to one of the ways that you can work with me. And then I've also got some freebies that people can comment below, and then I can send those across as well.
Perfect. So before we go any further into any of that, does anybody have any question on what Victoria has covered so succinctly, I must say, so far? Just feel free to unmute or raise a hand, or I'm not sure I can see all of you. Otherwise, we will continue for now. Yes, Lydia.
Hello, thank you for your presentation, Victoria.
Welcome.
I don't know what somatic work is. Can you explain that, please?
Yeah, it's about it's body work.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just heard it described like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Good question, and I love that. There are no silly questions or whatsoever. If you have a
God, no.
question, just ask it. That's how we all got where we are, right? Anybody
Oh,
else have
yeah.
anything in particular that they want to say? And otherwise, I let you continue for now, and then maybe at the end there are questions. I mean, I, for one, I'm enjoying it very much. It is resonating so very powerfully. It's funny how sometimes it's exactly what you need to hear, and very refreshing. The new style and the authenticity being the highest vibrational level, I thought was a real
I
eye-opener, actually.
I thought that was, I just loved that. Margaret.
Hi, thank you,
Yeah.
Victoria. A lovely session. Thank you so much.
You're
In
welcome.
relation to the new style, as it were, of coaching, and that you obviously are really good at, the trauma-informed coaching, is the line crossing between coaching, counseling, needing a higher level, perhaps when it comes to trauma? You know, the way we when I did my coaching training years back, it was identifying areas that perhaps when you get into a heavier area, for want of a better word, that we're now tipping into another area beyond coaching. And I just wanted that
Yeah.
dance, if you could explain that dance to me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the exact thing. I call it small T and big T. So there's with trauma informed coaching, it's been able to deal with, because we all have had trauma responses in coaching to different degrees, right? Because we've all been coached. There's certain levels of trauma I do not have expertise in. We don't teach to certain levels, obviously, within House of Lumina, that I would just never go to. Abuse, rape, levels of alcoholism or addictions, they are just, because a lot of those have got trauma attached to them, that in those situations, they would always be referred. So it's really about having the confidence when small traumas come up. So, well, small, I say small, it's whatever it feels to that person. A trauma can be, like I'm talking from my experience, a trauma can be when you're a child, the family home being sold and going from what you feel as safety and security to something where you didn't feel like that. That was a trauma to me.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
I
So
do.
it's about,
I do. No, that's
yeah,
fine.
so it's about helping safely guide those clients through that.
Great. Thank you very much for clarifying that. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. And we have a lot of conversations about this, because one of our students, she can deal with certain levels of alcoholism, for example, but then there's other levels that she wouldn't touch and would have to refer on. So it's about understanding our limits, but also every new coach we have coming through the House of Lumina is so worried about, what if someone has trauma response? And it's like, there's different levels, and you're going to know, because we teach this, you're going to know the level that is you do not touch. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Great point, Margaret.
It is. It's such a huge worry. I remember when I first started, I was so scared, and I have been lucky to not have a situation where something's come up that I'm like, oh my goodness. Any other questions?
Not yet.
No more hands raised. Okay. So I'll talk through the freebies that we've got as well, and then you can just comment in the chat, and then if this is being shown on any of the channels, obviously we can send this across. So there's a couple of things. I'm going to be running a completely free 2024 strategy planning session next Tuesday at midday called Simplify Your Success. So that is like 90 minutes planning workshop with myself about simplifying how you can reach your goals in 2024. So if you want that, if you want to just put strategy, and then we'll know who to send that out to. My business partner, Susie, is going to be running a success era, like a workshop next week. So you can join that. We've also got coaching tool downloads. So some amazing mind, body, soul coaching tools as well. If you want to put coaching tools, that's 11 free tools that you can get access to. So we can send that across to you as well. So that's all the amazing freebies that we've got. For those who really, really want to take their business to a whole new level and want to feel completely supported, both from a strategy perspective, from a mindset perspective, from an energy perspective, Susie and I have got our mastermind starting at the end of this month, 6-month container. And it's not just us, it's a team of experts that we've invested in, used, know, really to help support and guide you through 6 months of crazy quantum leaping. And this is all about helping you build freedom, abundance, and more impact as well. So I've popped the web address there, but if you want the prospectus sending as well, just drop the word mastermind and we can send you the prospectus as well. So we've got that too. And then there's our social links as well. There's the gorgeous Susie. Just see if there's any more questions about coaching tools. Brill will make sure, and Derville will make sure that we get the strategy link to you. I'll get a copy of the meeting chat, won't I? And then I can make sure I send you the links. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Hey, shall we stay on for another few minutes, see if there's any final
Yes, of course,
questions, and then
yes, I'm being a terrible host because I'm loving your stuff so much. I'm busy scribbling away instead of doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, don't worry. I've done it. I've been on time. I've done this with 2 minutes to spare.
Absolutely fine. And I mean, be honest, do you have any questions about, the new style? Do you have any questions about, the how do you do it, or how do we switch from how we've been taught maybe to, broadening to what is the right thing now? I mean, we're coaches, so we coach people, and of course, people and our society and our needs are changing at such a high speed, compared to how it used to be. We need to adapt, right? We need to adapt so that we can be properly serving our clients, which is what I find the most impressive about what you're doing here, is that you're really embracing, the professionalism with the energetics. And my experience so far is it's been, either you're this, very serious professional business coach whatsoever, or you're more into the energetics. Whereas that's not our world anymore, is it?
No,
it really is.
It's a dance between the masculine and feminine as well, because we can be so, like I spent so many years just in my work environment, masculine, do, push, as well. And we've just got this gorgeous dance going on as well, where we can do things with ease and flow. We can do things a different way. We can change the way we do stuff. We can evolve. I guess it's fixed and growth mindset as well. But yeah, there's been a lot of change in how we need to coach as well.
And all those blind spots and things like that you have, I thought were especially good as well, because, we all know as coaches, we have to get our house in order and get our skeletons out the cupboard so that we can be open and receptive to other people. But first of all, you were talking also about revisiting. And that was, for me personally, was also a trigger, like, okay, my mission, value, and all of that, it's been ages since I've gone back in and thought, is this still, my coaching has evolved. My niche is now fabulous after 50, which obviously was not my niche 20 years ago. So, I mean, is everything still aligned with that? But also that alignment with ourselves that you're talking about, really our energy levels, and what are we manifesting, our frequency rather than energy, as in not our energy as in, I'm active today and the next day I'm dead, but it's, the frequency that we're operating at, and how can we attract something which we're not emanating ourselves?
Exactly. And you know what, I'll just put a speaker view on here as well. There we go. In my time coaching business owners, because very quickly I became a business coach, most of the time, the reason why they were sabotaging, because we sabotage in business, it was a misalignment with the business. It was a misalignment with where that business was heading or could head, or a misalignment with the types of clients they were serving, a misalignment with how they were serving their clients. Like I did a lot of work in the beauty industry with beauty business owners, and a lot of them were really sick of the way that they were having to work, and they didn't want to do it, but there was a belief thing. And it was really interesting. It was always starting with alignment, and alignment can be very uncomfortable when you realize you're not aligned, but it's so quick to pivot. So in my own business, I started thinking I was going to coach women in corporate because I came from corporate. And 6 weeks later, so my first 6 weeks, I'd not got one single client. Started working with Susie, my business partner. I pivoted, decided actually I really want to help these women that were in my network. And the rest is history. You know, I got my first 4-figure client after pivoting and authentically wanting to help the group that I wanted to help. So alignment is a huge, huge one, and we scared of pulling back the curtain, but when we do pull back the curtain, it's freedom.
That's where the magic happens, right?
Yeah, it's just scary.
But also, as you said, revisiting, because, you know, sometimes we've decided this is our niche and we've set up our whole marketing and everything, you know, aligned with that, and it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. We feel like, okay, I'm not trying hard enough, etc. But it's sometimes not a question of trying harder, exactly, and pushing. It's sometimes stepping back and thinking, do I really feel this? Is this really my uniqueness? You know, like you talked about with the authenticity, is know your uniqueness and tailor into that, even if it's a vulnerability, right? Yeah, and that's when people resonate.
I could have done a whole session on drilling into your uniqueness, because that's another thing. When I talk around what parts are you suppressing or hiding, what parts of your story, that's a uniqueness to you. What parts of your life experience, that's unique to you. Part of your struggles and what you've overcome, that's unique to you. There's like all these gorgeous bits that are just yours, that are your differentiator, but we get so worried we try and model other people thinking that's going to bring us what we think we want, when really we just need to strip back the layers, unfilter ourselves, unmute ourselves, be us, and do the things that we genuinely want to do. And I think part of the reason why Susie and I love doing this mind, body, soul approach to coaching is because we're both very spiritual. I've got crystals all around my table. I truly believe when you can go into that intuition, your knowing, when you can go to that place, it's always got the answers. Like we have ego come up and tell us a load of BS, when really our soul or our inner knowing or our intuition, we teach intuition as one of the modalities because it's our powerhouse.
It is.
And when we make decisions from intuition, they're always the right decisions because they're what we really want. We just don't want to, like say, once you especially as coaches, once you acknowledge something, you know you've got to do something about it. So it's like, if I just don't acknowledge it and don't know it's there, I don't have to take action, because then you know that you're gaslighting yourself.
And just as we, you know, teach our clients to change their limiting beliefs to etc., we need to do that too. We need to unlearn everything that we've learned about the rational, about, you know, does it make sense financially? You know, you were talking about frightening your partner or your mother with investment. It is that fine line between tapping into our intuition, what does feel good, and then daring say, I own it. This is what I want to do, you know, trust me, and or don't, right? But I'm going to do it anyway.
God, yeah.
Anybody have anything else to say? Because I can see I'm rambling off with you. I could talk for hours. Anybody have anything they would like to ask Victoria or comment on, or, you know, something that, you know, more clarification on it? No, I'm trying to see if I can
what
see
your biggest learning's been from today, or your biggest, like, I'm trying to say this without using the swear version of this, your light bulb moment. I was going to say your HS moment, if you can work out what that is.
Go on. Be brave. What are you taking away today? Margaret. I'm going to be like at school. I'm going to pick on people.
Love this.
Margaret, if you had one thing, if you say to somebody, oh, I listened to this great thing today, what's the one thing you would say?
Give me a second. Just give me a second. You put me on the spot.
Sorry, I mean, sorry. Anybody else want to spring in and just spontaneously?
Just going back to, if you don't mind me jumping in, just going back to the basics of why I am doing this, and also celebrating my own experience. Like, I heavily trauma informed and enabled my school to become a trauma practicing school. It's all well and good to be trauma informed, but taking that training and using it in your practice, like I did in my school, and leading that practice is something I should actually probably be promoting a wee bit more about myself. So I am going to do more of that. Thank you.
Beautiful, Una. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
okay.
amazing.
I'm ready to be amazing and tell you.
No, that
when I do coach, because I've a kind of a complicated life in that we're farming, so we have lamb, apple juice, we have lots of products. So I have another world. I have about four different worlds. Most of us do have lots of things going on, but in that I am good then at that. What you're talking about, this new style, I was actually incorporating it already and didn't know it was a new style. It was actually parcel of the uniqueness that I bring, which is in real time, a business person in real time, a mother in real time, being able to discuss trauma, being able to discuss aging, being able to, so it's lovely. Today is a lovely acknowledgement of that, and very interested to hear more about what you do and all of that down the track. So thank you very much for today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Margaret.
Welcome.
Anyone else want to spring in? What's you taking away today? Deva, what's your one learning?
I think, those moments of meant to be's. I only had a conversation with my husband at lunch today. I've been coaching for years, and I've thanked him. I've got more and more into the somatic work, the trauma piece, the deep-rooted beliefs, more so than just the surface level. And I was only saying to him today, I was at that point where I was saying, is what I'm doing as a coach limited because I want to go beyond? And we were having this conversation, and now I'm on this call hearing everything that you're saying and saying, yeah, actually, I can. And so it's been really, really useful for me to be able to hear what you've said, and that whole soul piece. And I'm very spiritual as well. And I have my stones, and then I've the pragmatic head and all of that. And it's, I guess, maybe somehow I was looking for that, not permission is the wrong word, but that it's actually okay to merge and gel all the different areas and not feel I have to stay in that box of what the traditional way that I was trained, let's put it that way. So it's been very enlightening and exciting for me to hear this, to say, yeah, actually that's okay. So I've just downloaded already your tools on your website and everything, and I want to go through this, and yeah, I'm very much at that crossroads for me in my business and what I'm offering. So this has been brilliant. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I might pop into this chat actually just a link so you can all download those coaching tools now for those who are still on it. Because let me just pop that in there. And I just want to say something. There it is. So it's a coaching mastery toolkit. I'm just going to drop this in here for you all now, because they are freaking fabulous tools. Intuition. So is it Derval? Have I said your name right? Yeah. Like a lot of the women who we've had come into the House of Illumina to train, they haven't trained before, obviously. Some have, some haven't. And they were doing energy work. They were doing these things. They knew they were just, it was like having permission, having the confidence to coach with intuition, like coaching with intuition. This is why it's, like, say, a modality that we've singled out is our superpower, because if we've become a coach, we've probably spent decades having that sixth sense, knowing if someone's saying something, they're not actually saying the thing, or you can just feel someone's energy and know if they're happy, sad, traumatized, grieving. You just have that sense. So being able to give coaches that confidence to bring in modalities, like, say, bringing in energy work, feeling confident to get a client to work with crystals, even if you've not had training on it, but just intuitively being able to be like, this is what it's about. The more coaches who can feel empowered to go there, use everything in their toolkit, that would be a new one, is where we get amazing shifts for our clients, because we're not following a rule book. We are not following it has to be this process. We are coaching. So to us, like, say, people will no doubt disagree. We believe coaching isn't following a linear thing. We believe, which is why we teach, it's like our whole selves coaching someone else's whole self and being able to feel and connect to that person.
Beautiful words, Victoria. Now, Evie and Svit, Talina, I don't know if they're actually there because I don't see their videos, so I won't put them on the spot. But I think we all agree there's been something for all of us there, and that somehow it's, that synchronicity. Oh, it's Vitalina. Sorry, I don't know if I'm saying that properly. Would you like to share your takeaway?
Yeah, sorry for staying off camera. I'm just in the office and listening in while being at work. My takeaway for today is really like a reminder to do checkups with yourself. If your niche is still your niche, and like if it's bringing you joy, because that's really important. And sometimes we're too busy trying to coach clients, or like wondering why there are no clients coming, that we don't check with ourselves whether we are aligned with our own niche. And the other thing like that I'm doing, and what I hear the presenter is doing, is like self-care. Because if we don't practice the self-care, how can we serve the others if we're not taking care of ourselves?
Very true.
And it's a very it takes a lot of energy to coach and hold space for other people. So if we're not filling our cup, it's really hard to do that for other people.
True.
So important. And I love you at least opening your mind up to is the niche.
Thank you, Vitalina, and good luck with work.
Yeah.
Evie, I don't know if you're there or not.
I'm finishing up in like 2 minutes, so it was perfect end of the day for me with this session.
I think we've got Una to ask as well, haven't we? I don't think we've asked Una, have we? No.
Yeah, I spoke.
She went first. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Goodness me.
I jumped in.
You can tell.
You jumped in.
Of course you did. I remember now.
Thanks.
You can tell it's 4:30 in the afternoon, and I've normally switched off by now.
Oh, Evie, there you are. Do you want to share your takeaway, Evie, before we finish off?
To be honest, I'm not called Evie. That's my daughter's name, but I've just had a nightmare logging out. I've been on my phone and trying to get on the computer. I'm Helen Swan, but I'm right at the beginning of my coaching journey. I literally got accredited in October, but I've been running another business, so I've kind of pulled back on that business now, and basically January the 1st was the start date for me. So I'm kind of listening to some of it and I'm thinking, this is way above my head. I'm not here yet. I need to just get. So I've had a couple of clients, but I'm just putting feelers out everywhere in education because I have an education background. I work with I run baby classes as well, so I'm looking at mums who don't want to go back to work and they're in turmoil. So I don't know what my niche is. I don't know anything at the moment. I've kind of signed up for lots and lots of courses just to.
Yeah, and keep joining us as well, because there'll be lots of information for you there. And at least the advantage is you can go straight into the new style that Victoria is talking about, where you also trust more your gut than maybe we were taught originally.
Yeah,
Thanks
definitely.
For sharing.
Okay.
Victoria, any last words? This has been amazing. And I did hear you talk about uniqueness. So I would love it if you would actually like to come back to IAPC&M Masterclass and give us one on uniqueness, if I can be cheeky.
And I'm definitely going to ask Susie to come back and do one on the new way of coaching.
Perfect.
And see if she can go and get her to do a gorgeous session where she'll go into more detail on them all as well for you all, because I think that would be really beneficial too. So yeah, I'll definitely come back and do one on uniqueness. Helen, one for you. As much as you can, try and get quiet, try and get out of your head, get into your body and ask your body who you want to serve. Ask your heart who you want to serve, because you'll be so in your head that it'll be clouding the thing that you actually really want to do. Yeah.
Beautiful last words. Thank you very, very much. Good luck to all of you. Thank you for all having been here today. You know, that's already investing in yourself. I hope you made copious notes. And we'll make sure to get a hold of those tools, Victoria, you told us about as well.
Drop that in the comments, and then if we can just add that to the...
And let's stay in touch. I'm very much looking forward to having you back. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Bye-bye. Till next time.